Today on the Bandrew Says podcast, we're going to be discussing YouTube finally going through with hiding the dislike counter, Twitter trying to get you to pay to upload longer videos, and a couple of other things, so go ahead and stick around. All right, let's start with the hot ticket item that YouTube is going to actually be going through with hiding the public dislike counter. I covered this a couple of months ago and even 2 years ago, and I never imagined in my wildest dreams they would actually do it, especially after the backlash a couple of months ago. People hated the idea. They were berated. YouTube was berated online for this, yet they followed through with it. So I guess we should give them a pat on the back for sticking by their guns. But I don't know. Maybe don't pat them on the back because I know a lot of people absolutely hate this. But at least they're consistent? I don't know. A couple months ago when I talked about this, I had a very unpopular opinion about this entire topic, and I still do. I still absolutely have an unpopular opinion about this, and we'll talk about that, but I want to cover a bit of background about this topic. I actually found a clip from 2019, January 2019, from the Creator Insider channel. And Tom was discussing the idea of dislike mobs, where people just go find a video and dislike it without watching it or doing anything. And they shared 4 different ideas of how to mitigate this. I won't share a clip of all 4 because it's multiple minutes long and I don't want to waste your time. But I do want to include a quick clip of Tom providing background about dislike mobs and then his response and discussion, very brief discussion about hiding the dislike number, the public dislike number. Here is a clip from January 2019, and I will link the full video in the episode notes if you want to watch it.
Dislike mobs. So this is where a group of people will go to a video, not even watch the video, and just purposely hit the thumbs down. So we already have a number of ways that we try and mitigate that issue, but there are other things that we could do. So what I'll do is share some of the ideas that are been kind of lightly discussed. It's also very possible that we say, you know what, like none of these solutions is great, so let's just sort of stick to the current approach, which which already is addressing some of these issues. Maybe a more subtle one is removing the dislike count. I don't know, if you just suppress the dislike count, but you show the like count, that one seems, I work on the org that, advocates for creators, but that one seems kind of like tilting the scales a little bit.
There you go. Back in January 2019, Tom from the Creator Insider channel said hiding the public dislike number would be tilting the scales, tipping the scales in one direction, and frankly, he's kind of right, and that ends up being what YouTube says is one of the motivating factors behind it. So now let me read you the blog post that they just put out this last week discussing this topic. At YouTube, we strive to be a place where creators, blah, 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 corporate nonsense, blah, 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 blah. As part of this experiment, viewers could still see and use the dislike button, but because the count was not visible to them, we found that they were less likely to target a video's dislike button to drive up that count. Tom being proven correct, saying that hiding the public dislike count is tilting the scales. So Tom was correct a couple of years ago. Continuing, in short, our experiment data showed a reduction in dislike attacking behavior. We also heard directly from smaller creators and those just getting started that they are unfairly targeted by this behavior, and our experiment confirmed that this does occur at a higher proportion on smaller channels. Based on what we learned, we're making the dislike counts private across YouTube, but the dislike button is not going away. This change will start to gradually roll out today. What's changing for creators and viewers starting today? Creators will still be able to see their exact dislike counts in YouTube Studio, along with other existing metrics, if they would like to understand how their content is performing. Viewers can still dislike videos to tune their recommendations and privately share feedback with creators. We heard during the experiment that some of you have used the public dislike count to help decide whether or not to watch a video. We know that you might not agree with this decision, but we believe that this is the right thing to do for the platform. We want to create an inclusive and respectful environment where creators have the opportunity to succeed and feel safe to express themselves. This is just one of many steps we are taking to continue to protect creators from harassment. Our work is not done and we'll continue to invest here. And that is pretty much all there is to the blog post. I will link it in the episode notes so you can go there, you can look at it, and they also have a video embedded there so you can check that out. But let's talk about how this impacts you and how this affects you. We'll first start by talking about content creators and how it impacts you. My opinion has not changed on this at all. I don't think this has any impact on you as a content creator. This is not going to change anything. YouTube does say, oh, we're doing it to stop harassment, to protect you from harassment, or to stop hate mobs, and it's good for your mental health. No, it's not. If it truly, I said this a couple of months ago, if it truly was for that purpose, they would not allow the content creator to see the dislike count. Because if you get bombarded by dislikes and your video has a 99% dislike to 1% like ratio, then that's not going to be good for your mental health. You're still going to suffer from that bombshell that your video is terrible and people don't like it. So I don't think they're being honest here. I don't think they are being truthful with the reason behind why they are rolling out this change to the public dislike count. I don't know why they're doing it. You can speculate about it, and I will talk about something which a lot of people are saying is why they're doing it. I think that sentence made sense, but there's no real way for us to know definitively why they are in fact hiding it. We can only go on what they're saying and make assumptions, which we all know the cute little saying about. So as a creator, I think this is going to have zero impact on you. The only thing that might change is you won't feel embarrassed if your video gets 1,000 dislikes and 10 likes. That's the one positive thing. But then let's talk about how I think this will impact you as a viewer of YouTube, and I think that's where a lot of the outrage is actually stemming from. And this is also where my unpopular opinion lies. Before I share my unpopular opinion, I want to say, nothing is really going to change with this public dislike count being disabled. Because on every single video, there will now be a comment at the very top that says, use me as a dislike counter. Use me as a dislike button. And you can look at the public available thumbs up number, and you will now know how many people disliked that video. So you still have access to this information because people are enterprising, people are innovative, and they can leave a comment saying, use me as a dislike button. You will see that on every single video that garners any kind of outrage, any kind of pushback from the audience in a large enough number. That will likely be the very first comment. So you still have that information, so no need to get butthurt about that. Secondly, this is me speaking from personal experience, but the dislike button I don't think has ever had any impact on my decision to stop watching a video. If anything, it makes me want to watch videos more, because if there's a video that has 10 likes and 10,000 dislikes, you better believe I'm going to watch that to find out where this person went wrong, what they did that created so much outrage, and I am going to love every second of it, because as disgusting and horrible as it is, we all like watching train wrecks. We do. So when you see that 10 likes, 10,000 dislikes, we're all on board. We want to watch that even more. But one thing that will change is if you're somebody who has a plugin installed that displays the like to dislike ratio in the search results or in the browse section right next to the video, and you use that ratio to determine if you're going to watch that video, you're not going to be able to do that anymore because that public dislike number is no longer available. As I said, you do still have that information. It's going to be in the form of a comment saying, hey, use me as a dislike button. So you still have that information. It's just not going to be aggregated and plugged into that plugin, that calculation on your browse page. So you're not going to be able to use that anymore. And personally, I think that is okay. I know a lot of people will disagree with me here because it seems as though a lot of people use that like to dislike ratio to determine if a video is worth watching, to determine if a tutorial is good or bad. But why I'm okay with that is I think the comments section is much more informative. If a tutorial is really bad, look at the comments. The first comment will say, "This is why this tutorial sucks. Do not follow this. Reason 1, 2, 3, 4. This person's stupid. Do not follow it." You will find that on every single video tutorial that is inaccurate. I should know. I have put out videos that are inaccurate, and people make sure that the world knows. They leave comments that say, "This person's an idiot. Do not listen to them." So I think that is a much more effective way. And not only is it going to tell you whether or not to watch or trust the video, but I think it's going to be more educational because now you know why the video is wrong as opposed to just the video being wrong. If you just look at a like to dislike ratio on a tutorial, you will say, okay, well, the video's wrong, I'll move on. But if you see a comment saying, here is why the video is wrong, now you've learned something a bit more. So maybe I'm just looking on the bright side, trying to turn this into a positive. I don't think it's going to be a huge impact to viewers in that regard because you will still have the dislike information through a comment, and you might see more informed discussion about why a video is terrible as opposed to just seeing that number. That's my take there. I will say one thing that really does suck about this. I pointed this out a couple of months ago as well, so I'm regurgitating a lot of the same ideas, but my opinion hasn't changed that much. There is one huge downside here. We are no longer going to be able to go to the White House's webpage or any politician's YouTube channel and see this massive dislike ratio, which always brought a smile to my face, no matter how crappy my day was. Just going to whitehouse.gov or the White House YouTube channel, not whitehouse.gov, and seeing the 100 likes, 10,000 dislikes, it always made me giggle. But we lose that. We lose that for what? For mental well-being? Stop it, YouTube. YouTube should exempt the White House's YouTube channel from this, so we still get that. It's the one thing that brings people together in this world anymore. It's the one thing. This video sucks. I'm sad to see it go. All right, that's it. Let me know in the comments down below why you disagree with me, because I'm fairly certain the majority of people do. They will say this is the worst thing that has happened to YouTube, and that's your opinion, that's fine. If you use that like to dislike ratio to determine what videos you will or will not watch, more power to you. Let me know in the comments down below and let me know why I'm an idiot. Also, I do want to point this out. Last time I talked about this, somebody decided to misinterpret what I'm saying. They said, everybody, let's dislike this video to prove to him that dislikes do matter. And I want to make it abundantly clear, I am not saying that dislikes do not matter. I am saying that the dislike number being publicly available has very minimal impact on the creator or the viewer's experience. Dislikes still have a tremendous impact on videos. As YouTube admits right here, it does impact how they recommend videos to you. That's a pretty big impact. So if you don't want to be recommended my videos, go ahead and dislike it or do whatever you want. It's not my life. It's you doing you things. Okay, that's it for the YouTube story. Let's talk about Twitter. Twitter is rolling out something called Twitter Blue. I think I talked about this 6 months ago, but it is finally rolling out. And as soon as I got the email, hey, sign up for Twitter Blue, I decided to not sign up. I definitely did not sign up, but click through to try to learn a bit more. Let me go ahead and read the features to you, because golly, totally seems worth it to me. Upgrade your content. Undo tweet. Typo? Forgot to tag someone? Give yourself time to preview and make changes to your tweet before it goes live. Get news without the noise. Ad-free articles. Enjoy an ad-free reading experience across a network of US-based popular publishers, not including paywall access. Top articles. Easily see the most shared articles in your network over the last 24 hours. Reader, turn long threads into a more beautiful reading experience. Customize your Twitter experience. Bookmarks folder. Organize your bookmarks into folders and avoid endless scrolling. Custom navigation. Set your most used pages right on your tab bar. App icons. Get access to exclusive app icons for your device. App themes. Choose a new theme color for your Twitter experience that can only be seen by you. Get early access. Upload longer videos. Sorry about that. I don't know what that was. Get early access. Upload longer videos for when you have more to share. Upload and tweet videos up to 10 minutes long. And pinned conversations. Swipe to pin your favorite conversations to the top of your direct message inbox. Subscribe for $2.99 a month. There you go. I have no idea why I started screaming about app themes. That hurt my throat quite a bit, and I should not be doing that in the future. That was a terrible decision. A lot of this seems really unimportant. A lot of it seems useless and uninteresting. What did we have? We had an ad-free reading of articles. That's not interesting. If it was an ad-free experience across all of Twitter, cool. I'm on board. $3 a month? No problem. Take away all those promoted tweets. I don't want to see them. But no, this is ad-free articles? Which articles? There are articles on Twitter since when? When is that a thing? Who cares about navigation? Who cares about the app icons? It doesn't matter. App theme doesn't matter. The one that is offensive to me, I am truly offended by this. They are suggesting that you pay to have the ability to undo tweet. The way this works, you write a tweet and then it delays the publishing, I think, for 60 seconds. Why does this offend me? Because you already have the ability to save a tweet to drafts. You already have the ability to not post something for 60 seconds while looking at it to make sure everything is correct. So why are they suggesting that you pay to have the ability to undo a tweet which has not been published for 60 seconds? It's the exact same thing as saying, okay, I'm going to draft up a tweet. Okay, I'm going to close it, save to drafts. Let me open up those drafts and look at it for 60 seconds. Okay, publish. Or if you go to TweetDeck, you can say, I am going to draft up a tweet. Right. Okay, schedule for 5 minutes in the future. And you can review the tweet for those 5 minutes. I simply do not understand why undo tweet is a thing. Seems like that's a feature that is already available. I don't understand it. And then you have upload longer videos. Upload and tweet videos up to 10 minutes long. Before I say anything, I want to say this is under Get Early Access, so perhaps this will be rolling out to everyone. But this leaves a bad taste in my mouth. The reason I'm saying that is I think Twitter could go two different directions. The first one being they could go the YouTube route. I turned into Scooby-Doo. They could go the YouTube route, where they say, you're the creators, people come to this platform for you, here are all the features available, we're not going to put anything behind a paywall, make the best stuff out there because the better the content on the platform, the more people will want to watch it, and hell, we'll even let you earn money from ads. That's the YouTube route. They could also go the Facebook route, where they say, yeah, come on over here, content creators. Come to Facebook, create your page, promote facebook.com/your URL, promote your page, and then post your content here. Now, we're not going to show that content to anyone. We don't want to show your content to anyone. So if you want your content to be shown to the people who came to this platform and subscribed to your page, you have to pay us. That's the Facebook route, forcing content creators to pay them to distribute the content to the people who subscribe to their page in the first place because they're on the platform, because they want your content. Terrible platform, in my opinion. Their own decision. They can do whatever the hell they want on Facebook, but there's a reason why I do not publish anything on Facebook. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is I think Twitter is at a very important crossroads for them because they're right in the middle here. Because currently it says early access, upload longer videos. They do have one feature that is useful for content creators, which they are putting behind a paywall, that undo tweet, although I guess everybody does have access to that already. But they could easily start going the route, if this is successful, of more content creators being required to pay to get features that are beneficial to them, as opposed to Twitter saying, you are the reason people visit our platform. Let us give you all the tools at our disposal so you can make the best content available. It's really going to be interesting to see the route that they go, but I can tell you over the last couple of months, I used to be the biggest advocate for Twitter. I said, Twitter is amazing. You're just not using it right. You're following too many people. You need to be very specific about who you follow. Boy, was I wrong. This is one area where I will say, gosh, dang it, I was wrong. Twitter it's so unusable. It is such an unpleasant place to be, and even if you are very selective with who you follow, there's no protection from them just becoming unbearable individuals who just post too much about stuff that is uninteresting and they have no authority to talk about or publish and broadcast. So I was way off. Twitter's terrible, and I have taken a step back and I don't stay logged in on any of my devices, because if I'm logged in, I know I'll just look at it and then I'll just get pissed off. It's become Facebook in that regard. It's an unpleasant place to be, just like Facebook. You log into Facebook, you're going to be pissed off within 5 minutes. You log into Twitter, you're going to be pissed off within 5 minutes. You log into YouTube, you can go an entire day without becoming pissed off, at least in my experience. I know some people will say, I log into YouTube, I see your video, I get pissed off, it's so bad. I get it. Twitter has a very interesting choice going forward, and either way will be a perfectly valid decision for a company to make. I understand why they would say, we're hosting your video, you should pay us to host longer videos, but I personally prefer the YouTube route, where they say, here are all the tools at your disposal, make the best stuff possible. We'll see what Twitter does. I will not be subscribing to Twitter Blue. I won't even use the platform, really. All right, that's all the news. I do want to go on a very short rant. It's more of a piece of advice, and I will likely be uploading this advice to Podcastage as well, because that's where a lot of my audience is, and I think this is important advice. This is regarding Black Friday. I don't like Black Friday. I don't like most of these massive sales days, Singles Day, or what is it, Amazon Prime? I don't like any of these really, because after really following them closely for a couple of years, they have one or two interesting propositions, one or two interesting items, and then the rest of the items that are on sale typically seem like they're dumping it because they can't sell it. Here is all the stuff that we weren't able to sell at a regular price. It's costing money to store. Let's get rid of it at the highest price possible, but at a price that is so appealing that people won't think about it. Let's get rid of all these battery banks and say it's $5 instead of $10, and people will say, oh my gosh, I'm saving $5. That's how I view all of these sales events. That's irrelevant though. The advice that I have is sit down today or tomorrow, in the next couple of days, before Black Friday and before a lot of sales events leading up to Christmas time, leading up to Hanukkah, leading up to all of it, and make a list of the items that you actually want and or need. The reason you're doing that is this will help you. It will ensure that you don't get sucked into this FOMO that they so desperately want everybody to fall trap to, this fear of missing out. You're going to have this list, an SM7B, an RE20, a U67, an Elam 251. And then on Black Friday, whenever one of these sales events comes up, you're going to pull out that list. You're going to say, okay, have I been a good boy or girl? Here's my good boy or girl list. And you're going to say, okay, Elam 251, is that on sale? No, darn it. U67? No, darn it. SM7? No, darn it. RE20? No, darn it. And you're not going to buy anything else. You're not going to fall trapped to this nonsense where it says, oh, the Blue Yeti is 60% off. How can I not? How can I not buy it? It's 60% off. I'm saving how much? I don't know how much that would be. I'm saving $60. No, you're not. You're spending $40. Spending $40 is not saving $60 unless it is an item that you were already 100% planning on purchasing. If you had been allocating that money to purchase a U67 for $7,500, knowing that's what it was going to cost, and then on Black Friday you said, oh my gosh, it's $6,500, then yes, I would say you saved that money. But just going and perusing every single sale item and saying, well, you know what, that's cheap enough, I might as well just throw that in the cart and buy it. I'm saving $5. That's not saving $5, that's spending $5. And in my head, that was a $10 item marked down to $5. You get the point. The entire point is go in with a plan. Have a list of items that you want and or need, and do not go from that. Do not diverge from that plan. Do not fall trap to the FOMO that all of these companies are so desperately trying to make you feel. This idea of, oh, I'm never going to get a deal this good again. Sure you are. The best deal is not wasting your money on stuff that you don't need, because then you still have that money and you can spend it on something that you actually need or something that you actually want. That's not just this, oh, you haven't been manipulated into buying it. So that's my advice. Make a list, check it twice, and if you're a good boy or girl, maybe you'll get a good sale. I'm holding out for that Elam 251. Come on, Telefunken. Come on, mark it down to like $1,000, because I don't have $10,000 to buy a microphone. I don't have it. Okay, I'm feeling pretty lazy, so I don't feel like doing a What You Had to Say or an Ask Bandrew. I should note I'm back on the Microtech Gefell UMT70S. And that's it for this week. This is still growing. This train wreck on my face, it's disgusting. I truly do hate it. My face feels so dirty. It feels so dirty. And I wash it every day. I still hate it. I don't know how people do it. And the majority of the follicles on my face, the hair follicles, just raised a white flag and said, screw off, we're not doing it. It's a patchy, disgusting mess. I hate everything about it, but I'm going to make it through November. I'm not even doing the No Shave November thing because I didn't sign up for it. I randomly started doing it. Maybe I should do, I don't know if you can start midway through. Okay, that's it. I will talk to you later. I hope you have an amazing Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Next Sunday, we'll talk at you. I love you. Bye.
This has been a Geeks Rising production. Your executive producer is Bandrew Scott. For more information, head over to www.geeksrising.com.